Hi everyone, welcome back, and now that we're after test 2, I want to talk a little bit about our final paper. There are a variety of resources available to you to find a topic and to write your final paper, and I'm going to go through some of them today. Obviously, because libraries are closed because of coronavirus, we won't be able to go to the library and physically look at books, but there are a lot of resources available to us online. There's a list of these resources that I'm going to be talking about today on our D2L shell. It's under Course Materials, Content, and then it's under this Resources tab here on the left-hand menu. And you should see a document there that's called Art History Resources. If you click on that, you will see a list of the resources. I'm going to talk about some of these, and there's some that are similar, but from different organizations or different museums. So I'm not going to talk about quite all of these today. I want to start by talking about our library webpage. So we do have online library access while campuses are closed. So you can get to our library webpage. The email or the website address is frontrange.edu/campuses/libraries. Or you can just go to frontrange.edu, hover over the campuses button, and choose this libraries link. If you've never logged on to the library before, it's going to ask you to choose a campus. Just choose Boulder County campus, because that'll make sure you get resources you have access to. Once you're here, you are going to see information about the library, and we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this page and click on these research databases. This will take you to a page that lists all of the research databases that are available to you as a Front Range student. And I want to particularly point out a couple that are most relevant to us. So if we start here at the top of the page under this EBSCO title, Academic Search Premier, the very first database here, is a broadly based academic database. It has lots of information on a variety of titles, including some art history resources. It's probably not going to be exclusively art history focused, but there should be some resources that are available to you there. You also might see the History Reference Center just underneath that. This obviously references historical articles, so it's not specifically art history, but it is history. Similarly, JSTOR is a library of broad academic resources. This one tends to have a little bit more humanities content than Academic Search Premier, so these three databases are all great places to start looking. You can also look on either of these reference or encyclopedia databases, either the Gale Virtual Reference Library or the Funk and Wagmill's New World Encyclopedia. And if you would rather watch videos about your piece or about art history in general, Films on Demand has all kinds of documentary films, both clips and full-length films, and it does include a number of art historical resources. So those are good places to start looking on our library website. However, there's also a lot of great academic resources on the web. One of the best resources that we have is the Heilbrunn Timeline of Art History from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And there's three types of information that you get from this site. There's essays about specific works of art. You can see pictures and brief information about individual works of art, and chronologies, which are like timelines that give us information about specific regions or specific times in history. And all three of these things are linked, so you can click on them either up here in the top corner or in the header here. And once you click on one of those things, you will be taken to a link of all the resources. You can also search more specifically, so we can see here you can select a time period, a geographical region, or a thematic category. If we click on this chronology link, again, we see this broken down by both geographical regions, so these highlight. We can click on an area in the world we're interested in studying more in depth, and also by timeline, so we can highlight these different historical periods and see all of the relevant chronologies. More technical resources include the Met publications, and this is an online guide to books and journals that are published by the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Not all of these resources are available for free, but many of them are. And again, we can search over here on the left-hand side, or we can browse either in their bar at the top or by looking through their different categories. One place we can look is this Books with Full Text Online. These are places and objects that you can read without having to pay. And they often include exhibition catalogs that are in-depth and very academic. If we go back for a minute to our list of resources, we can see that Met Publications is the second thing on here. There's also Getty Virtual Library and Chicago Art Institute scholarly catalogs that are similar sites that publish resources from the Getty Museum and from the Chicago Art Institute. Our next resource is smarthistory.org. This is a site from the online educational site Khan Academy that you may have encountered before. And this gives us specific information about the history of art. So again, we can search in this search bar at the top, or we can scroll through and look at their different categories. They have information about many different cultures all around the world in many different time periods, so you would definitely be able to find information on a culture that fits the requirements of this paper. Another more general site is Google Arts and Culture. This is a less academic site, so you're going to find less information on this site, but if you're trying to find a topic for your paper, or if you want to get a better sense of what a work of art looks like, there's lots of information and resources here with many, many pictures. Also, if you're just bored at home and quarantining, under the Explore button, Google has many virtual museum tours. And you can see many works of art, many museums in high definition. We're going to end today talking about a more technical resource, and that is technical bulletins. So technical bulletins talk about the conservation, the preservation, the technical side of preserving and creating art. And one of the most famous technical bulletins is the National Gallery. This is run by the National Gallery in London. And again, if we scroll down here, this is published once a year, and we can read these online for free simply by clicking on them. And again, if we go back to our list of resources, we can see the National Gallery Technical Bulletin. Conservation Perspectives, the Getty Conservation Institute newsletter, is a similar type of resource from the Getty Museum. And this last resource on our list, the Yale University Library Technical Art History and Conservation Research LibGuide, it's a mouthful, is a similar resource for students. It's put together by the Yale University Library and links you to similar resources about the technical side of art history. So I hope this helps you in creating your paper and getting started with the process. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.